I am. So yeah, thank you again for coming. I'm just gonna jump in and read Mop Rides the Waves of Change, which is the second book after Mop Rides the Waves of Life that just came out. So yeah, get your board shorts on, bathing suits. Let's go jump in. Make sure. And this is dedicated to somebody who's here right now, my sister Ciel, who was always, since I can remember, doing things to protect the environment and help animals. She did like this big rainforest concert when she was in high school, and she was always, we had Animal Voice magazines strewn about the house all the time, and pictures on our cabinets of what we shouldn't use or eat to protect animals. And so this book is a tribute to her. Hi, I'm Mop. People call me Mop because, well, yeah. I love to surf, especially with my friends Ipo and Sammy. We love sharing party waves, getting deep in the tube, and laughing at big tumbles. School is cool too. But on Tuesday in music class, Mr. J wouldn't let me play my uke. No ukulele today, Mop. What? Why? What happened yesterday, Mop? I woke up, checked the waves in music class, Mop. I remember, Ipo piped in. Mr. J said it was time to clean up for about the 11th time. Mop shouted, I'm not done, and threw his ukulele across the room. The ukulele hit a flower pot. The pot fell on Mr. J's head.
Hey, Jamal, sorry to interrupt, but we're not seeing the book.
You can't see the book?
No, we're just seeing I don't know. I'm seeing other people say they can't see it, and I see you, or I see just a static screen with both books.
Sharing. Oh yeah, it says sharing is paused. Bring your shared window to the front. Huh. All right. It is to the front, I think. Oh, maybe I have to close this box. Can you guys see it now?
No, not quite. Just the two covers.
Yeah, we're just seeing the two covers.
Okay, let me see. Sorry about that. That's very awkward. All right, stick around with me here.
We all have a lot of patience with Zoom now. It's all good. Take your time.
All right. Enter full screen.
And if you need me to hold the story up, I'm happy to do that.
Maybe you should do that. Share your screen, Naomi, and click through and as I read.
Okay. Here. Okay.
I don't know why that is.
Do you want to start from the beginning?
Yeah, I'll just start again.
Okay.
And since we probably won't want all that on the recording, I'll just start again. So thank you everyone for coming. I'm so excited to read Mop Rides the Waves of Change with you today. Hi, I'm Mop. People call me Mop because, well, yeah. I love to surf, especially with my friends Ipo and Sammy. We love sharing party waves, getting deep in the tube, and laughing at big tumbles. School is cool too. But on Tuesday in music class, Mr. J wouldn't let me play my uke. No ukulele today, Mop. What? Why? What happened yesterday, Mop? I woke up, checked the waves in music class, Mop. I remember, Ipo piped in. Mr. J said it was time to clean up for about the 11th time. Mop shouted, I'm not done, and threw his ukulele across the room. The ukulele hit a flower pot. The pot fell on Mr. J's head. Oh, I said, that. But Mr. J, Sammy pleaded, the coconut heads can't practice without Mop. He's our lead singer. I love the coconut heads. If Mop follows directions today, he can have his ukulele back tomorrow. For now, he can pick another instrument. Fine, I said, but I was too mad to play anything. Then I remembered something Mom says a lot. Feelings are like waves. They're always changing. So when stoked feelings come, you ride them. But when stormy feelings suck you under, just relax and breathe. Every wave passes. You can't control the waves, but you can decide which ones to surf. I was so mad, my breath felt like a volcano at first. But I tried to focus on just the feeling, like I do when I'm surfing. And if you're at home, you can breathe with Mop here. In, my breath was cool like a winter wave. Out, my breath was warm like a tropical breeze. Sounds like we might have a puppy doing the breathing with us too. I think we can hear you, Matt.
Hey.
In, I imagined my mind was as big as the ocean. Out, I saw the wave crash and roll by. And then I had an idea. Ipo, do you want to play my uke today? I'll play the drums. Okay, I'll try. The coconut heads were rocking again. But the waves in your head can be tricky. Wednesday at the beach, we found Jared and Zoe throwing their plastic trash right where the sea turtles like to sunbathe. Oh no, shouted Sammy. That turtle thinks the plastic bag is a jellyfish. Jared and Zoe laughed. What a dumb turtle. Are you crazy? I shouted. That turtle could get sick or worse. Look at Mop, cackled Jared. He's so mad, he looks like a furry tomato. I picked up a handful of sand, ready to throw it at Jared's face. Mop, shouted Ipo. That won't help. Ipo was right. I tried to breathe, but then we saw more plastic in the waves. I can't stop being mad, I said. Me either, said Ipo. And if we don't do anything, said Sammy, the whole ocean will keep filling with plastic. But we're just kids, I said. What can we do? That's when we ran into Ipo's Uncle Chemo. He surfs really big waves and knows a lot about the ocean. We told Chemo about Jared and Zoe and the turtle. I'm so mad, I said, but things seem to go badly when I get mad. Uncle Chemo scooped some water in his hands and thought for a while. You kids are steaming mad about all this plastic hurting the animals, huh? Super duper sea monster tsunami mad, said Ipo. And what does super duper sea monster tsunami mad feel like? Asked Chemo. Like my head is boiling, said Sammy. Like a bowling ball's on my chest, said Ipo. Like I'm gonna throw sand at Jared's face. Uncle Chemo laughed. You know, it's okay to feel mad. It's natural, like stormy weather. But there's a difference between feeling mad and acting mad. What do you mean? Asked Sammy. When you act mad, it's like surfing in the middle of a storm, said Chemo. And what's that like? Crazy out of control, I said. No fun, said Ipo. Not smart, said Sammy. Right, said Chemo, but when you feel mad and you see that you're mad, you can stop what you're doing, maybe count your breath or tell a friend how you feel. That gives the storm time to pass. Then the storm waves in your head space out, just like surfers like. The ocean becomes clear and you can pick which waves to ride, said Sammy. Exactly, said Chemo. Plus, you can see what's really going on deep down. Suddenly, a big, beautiful wave came. Uncle Chemo caught it and rode it with style. See what else is going on deep down, I said. What do you think Uncle Chemo meant? No idea, Ipo shrugged. Another wave popped up right behind me. Go, Mop, Sammy shouted. It's yours. I paddled, but I was still thinking about what Uncle Chemo said, and I fell. The waves socked me down deep, but I didn't panic. I waited for the wave to pass, and way down here, the ocean was quiet. It was peaceful deep down. Hey, deep down. I know what Uncle Chemo meant. I said, we're angry because we care. And deep down under even the angriest waves, it's always peaceful. So what's a peaceful feeling that's as big as the whole ocean? Way bigger than anger. Hunger? Said Sammy. Sorry, I missed breakfast. Love, Ipo beamed. We love the ocean. And that's the feeling to ride, I said. I have an idea. As long as we can get tacos first, I'm in, said Sammy. After tacos, we got right to work on our plan. You can see their sign, Coconut Heads Beach Show. Fill a bucket with trash and get in free. We practiced all week for the big show. And when Saturday came, it felt like riding a perfect tube to start cleaning up the beach. There's just one problem, said Sammy. We're the only ones here. Didn't anyone see our sign, groaned Ipo. Either nobody saw our poster or nobody cares, said Sammy. The only people here are our parents. Suddenly, I felt my face getting hot. This was a bad idea, I said. Let's go home. But we came to see the Coconut Heads, Dad said, and we picked up a bucket of trash for our ticket. That was the deal we offered on our poster, said Ipo. Maybe we should play, Mop. Okay, shrugged Sammy. I'll just close my eyes and think of lunch. But it felt too late for me. I was in the storm. I wanted to throw my uke across the stage. I lifted it up, but I didn't throw it. I remembered chemo. I counted my breath. In one, out one. In two, out two. I still felt stormy inside, but once we were jamming, Mom and Dad started dancing. And then Uncle Chemo came over with Ibo's cousins Melee and Kawhi. And I was too focused on the music to feel mad now. In fact, I was having fun. Look, Ibo said, people from all over the beach are coming. Pretty soon, everyone was lining up with buckets of trash to get into our show, even Jared and Zoe. Sorry we're late, said Zoe. We wanted to fill a full bag. You were right, Jared said. Nobody wants to surf in a trash bin. We got to keep the ocean clean and healthy. Uncle Chemo seemed to be having the best time of all. Looks like you kids found something good deep down, he said, because these are the best tunes I've heard in a long time. You can see some of the characters from Mop 1 have showed up too who weren't in the story. There's Toby and Izzy. Little cameo. By the end of the concert, the Coconut Heads were full of all kinds of good feelings to ride, all the way back to the much cleaner waves. Thanks, says the turtle. All right, thanks you guys for being an attentive audience. And we may have some time for questions later or discussion, but I want to jump into Matt's drawing tutorial of Mop because I think that is, I love drawing Mop. So I'm excited to draw along with him. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey guys, I am going to share my screen now and hope that it works out here. All right, can you guys see?
Yeah, looks good.
Yes.
Great. All right, so if you have a pen or pencil and paper, go ahead and grab it now. We're gonna do a little Mop drawing. I'm actually gonna do the one from the cover of the first book. And when I was a kid, I used to think that I had to draw things out of my head. And so I would say I wasn't very good at drawing. And I didn't realize that a lot of artists are looking at things when they're drawing and getting inspiration from different things. So we're going to draw from the cover of the first book. And if you have the first book, you can look at that for a reference. And I'm gonna do the best that I can on this. I don't always draw this way, so just like you guys, I'm gonna do the best I can. And starting out, we're gonna start with Mop's face. So when I draw Mop's face, I do almost like a smiley shape at first. So I'll take my pen, go around like that. And then he's got like a little cheek over here. So I put his cheek in. And then I like to do Mop's smile. So that's another kind of half moon. Mop has a cute little nose, and we'll do that up above his smile with one little line on the bottom, and then we do a little curve on the top as well. Then I usually do Mop's eyes, and he's just got 2 dots for eyes. And I put those just a little outside of his smile and a little above his nose. I'll just make the dots there, and there. And then I'll do Mop's eyebrows right above his eyes, and that's just kind of a curved line also. And then we do the fun part, which is Mop's hair. And I usually spend a lot of time on Mop's hair, but we're gonna do it the quick way and kind of the fun way where you get to be a little expressive with your lines, and we'll just do swirly lines all around and just kind of go for it on this part. And we're gonna give him really big hairs, big mop of hair. I'll just do the outside first to kind of get the shape. And come down, and then just start filling it in with just all the squiggly lines.
This part is really fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you're having fun with it. It's kind of the most freeing part to do. So spend as much time on that and give it as much squiggles as you want. I'm gonna move on to giving him a little bit of a body here. So I'll take a line right below his head and give him a little bit of a shoulder and arm. And then I'm gonna give him a surfboard just to the left. So I'll take a spot right up there, and then I'll do a curved line down. And then I'm going to do a straight line for the stringer. That's the wood part in the middle of the board that gives it strength. Then I'm going to do the other side, and we're going to have to leave a little bit of room for Mop's fingers over here. So we're going to start and curve it down and then stop. And we're going to give him his 4 fingers, which are just little ovals, so that we've got him holding onto his board. And then we'll finish off the rest of the board down below. And then I'm going to finish his arm and connect it to his board right there. Oops. And you can see my angle's actually off on that. So I think I'm going to change it. If you look, his arm would not line up with his hand. And that happens sometimes when we're drawing. We have to make an adjustment, which is fine. And if you have to make an adjustment, that's okay. I'm going to do his other shoulder over on the right side, and I'll kind of kick it out a little bit for his elbow and then bring it down. And I'll do the other part of his belly first, and then the inside of his arm. I like to give Mop a little belly button. And then I'll do the top of his board shorts. And he's got another second line for his board shorts there. And I'm just going to leave him there like that, and I'm going to give him a wave in the background. It's one of my favorite parts to do. When I was a kid, I used to draw a lot of waves on all my notebooks in school. So we'll do the curved line there, which is kind of the breaking part of the wave. And then I'll do kind of a wiggly line on the bottom. And then we're going to do some more curved lines to show the kind of the shape of the wave. And this is a barreling wave, so we do really curved lines because Mop loves to get barreled. So he's going to be pretty excited about this day of surf. I'm going to do another curved line at the top to do the lip of the wave, which is the breaking part of the wave. And then I'm going to do the white water, which is the part of the wave that's already broken. You don't want to be in front of that. We're going to do the other part of the barrel next, which is kind of the part that's breaking, and that gives a little depth to the wave. So I'll do just smaller curved lines here, and that gives kind of the breaking part. And Mop is really fortunate because this wave is really long. So we're going to do the second part of the wave on his right side. There's kind of a line down there, and then we'll do the bottom line, squiggly line down here. And as a wave is kind of tapering off, it gets a little bit less steep and more mellow towards what they call it, the shoulder of the wave. And so these lines are not going to be quite as extreme, so we can show how the wave's kind of tapering off as it gets into the channel. And then I like to do a little bit of already broken waves in the foreground. And so these are just more lines, and you can kind of get creative with these little lines and just do squiggles. I'll do some more squiggles for the other white water, as these waves have already broken and they're just coming into shore. And the closer they get to shore, the more mellow they are. And those are the good waves to start out on when we're first learning to surf, so that we don't get into too much trouble and we can work our way up to the big barreling waves. So this is a pretty basic drawing of Mop, a little bit more basic than the ones that I do when I'm working on the book. And usually when I'm drawing, I'll start out with something a little more simple, and then I'll refine it, and I'll go in and I'll make Mop's, like his face is a little wobbly when I did it, so I'll go back in and straighten that out and do all the things I need to do to get all the details right. But yeah, just kind of a basic Mop drawing. And like I said, you guys can do this at home, and if you go through the book and see a picture in the book that you like, you can look at that and try and draw your own version of it. And if you guys do that, we'd always love to see your drawing. So if you want to share those with us on social media or send us pictures of those, we'd always love to see what you guys are up to when you're doing your Mop drawings.
Yeah, tag Mop or Matt or me on Instagram or Facebook, and Mop will reshare what you do if you want to get them out there. Matt, how do you do his, when you're doing Mop's real hair? Like, what's your technique for that?
I mean, it's not terribly different from what I do there when I'm doing it fast, but I try and go a little bit slower, and I make curved lines that are just a little more detailed, but I go strand by strand through his hair, and yeah, just kind of, it's almost like a little bit of a more Zen process, because I can just zone out and get into kind of the flow state where you're not thinking too much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of my favorite things as an artist, is just when you can get into that kind of like not thinking state. They say they say like, as humans, when we get into that state, it's when, like, one of the, I don't know, it's where we lose track of time. And that's one of the things I like about drawing, is getting into that kind of headspace where you're a little bit, I don't know, disconnected, I guess. But and that's really like the best part about doing his hair, is you can just kind of get into the rhythm of doing the lines, and not use your brain so much about figuring out how am I going to draw this and make him have the perfect surfboard or the perfect wave or get his body position right, but you can just kind of stop thinking a little bit and just create.
That's also why I like having curly hair, because I can cut my own hair, because you can just kind of snip it from any place and then it still just sort of ends up.
Same.
I don't have to
Same.
comb it. Well, it's pretty amazing hair for a guy with no hair, even for a guy with hair.
I actually used to have curly hair, not quite as curly as yours, but yeah. Now it's more just I dream about the hair I wish I had.
Well, thanks for taking us on that cool journey. If you guys want to try that again and follow along, Naomi's going to post this to YouTube in a few days, so you can come back and follow along with Matt anytime.
Yeah, I might have gone a little fast if it was too fast for you guys, but can always slow it down if you need to.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. Now I can bring this home to my kid and he can color it just
Perfect.
to match the cover.
I like it.
Yeah. Does anybody in the audience today have any questions for Jaimal or Matthew? You can unmute yourself. You can write in the chat. Feel free. I was so excited. I forgot to put the links to purchase the books from Napa Bookmine. But we do stock both titles all the time, and yeah, it's one that I love to keep here in the store and share with people. So
thank you so much, Naomi, for keeping Mop in the shop, and thanks everybody for joining. And yeah, hopefully we'll do I was just telling Naomi that Matt and I are working on the third Mop now. We don't have a title yet, but it has to do with fear and courage, and Mop tackling some of his anxieties with his crew. So yeah, stay tuned to the Mop channel, and thank you. And please do, if you're thinking of buying a book, get it from Napa Bookmine, because it's just such a great community center to support. And yeah, we appreciate you guys.
and if any of, what were you gonna say, Anne?
Yeah, Jaimal, when can we expect the third edition of Mop?
I think it's gonna be a minute. We are probably gosh, what is the date right now? It's fall. We're coming up on fall 21. It'll probably be spring of 2022. Things take a while. Matt's drawings, he puts so much hard work into them, and I put a lot of hard work into figuring out the right script too. So, and then there's always the delay period where they have to print them, and so I wish I could say it'll be just 6 more months or something, but we have about a year. But we will have a year plus. We will have more Mop stuff coming your way on if you follow Mop on Instagram, or Matt and me. There's we trying to do some Mop activities and keep he's a ambitious little guy, so.
Oh, nice.
Jaimal, I have another question and then I have a comment.
Yes.
The question is, where do you draw from to come up with the ideas of the things that Mop is dealing with?
I think I mean, from my own experience, because I learned to surf around the same time I was learning mindfulness, and that was when I was a teenager, and I was in a particularly stressful time of life because I'd gotten in a lot of trouble and surfing, and I needed some outlet, and surfing and breathing really became that my two go-tos for dealing with my emotions. And I wouldn't have even explained it that way, or was self-aware enough to say I'm in a stressful time or anything. I just kind of happened. And so over the years, I realized, you know, getting really into surfing, that there was this kind of, and I wrote about it in my own life in books like Saltwater Buddha. And I don't think I'd really distilled the metaphor that, oh, these, you know, our experiences are passing through us like waves all the time. And we do, if we take a little space from them, like surfers observing, we have that opportunity to choose. Do I want to be wrapped up in this, you know, kind of difficult emotion that I'm clinging to, like anger at somebody, or do I want to kind of let that wave pass? And oh, I'm at a high point right now. Can I take a step back and celebrate that? You know, because sometimes even the joys, it's like we don't appreciate them when they're there, you know. So so that simple metaphor actually came from a lot of sort of you know, discussion in reflection. And then I think it's a little bit like that Mark Twain quote, like, I would have written you a shorter letter, but I didn't have enough time. That I felt like a lot of my grown-up writing, I realized what I'm really trying to say is this simple thing that and that Mop's mom communicates in Mop 1. And I think the imagery, I thought, you know, being a dad of 3 boys who have big emotions, that, wow, wouldn't it be cool if I had learned some of what I learned at 35 at 5, you know, and if I can pass that along in a simple way. So it was originally, the idea was just kind of to break it down for them. And then, you know, I was fortunate enough to connect with Matt and really make this super great, visually, just make those ideas really come to life.
And my comment, Matt, I've thoroughly enjoyed your instruction to us about how to create Mop. What a great thing to do. Thank you. And thank both of you.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone to try and show other people how to draw. And like I mentioned, it's not my normal process, but it's nice to kind of put myself in back learning to draw and think about how I was then and try to communicate that as well. And I would encourage anyone too, the only way to get better at anything is to practice. And a lot of people say, oh, I can't draw. And then I'll ask them how many math classes they took in their life. Probably spend a lot more time doing math than drawing. And I think just like anything, anyone can get better at it. So if you enjoy drawing, just spend more time drawing and you'll get better at it.
Great advice. Amazing. Well, does anybody else have any questions or comments today? Oh, I did have one question. I'm sorry if I missed it in your bios. Did you two know each other? Can you just quickly mention how you met and how you work together, or did the publisher pair you together?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah. So we actually didn't. I'd seen Jaimal's books before, but the publisher just reached out to me because I do freelance illustration work, and they reached out and they're like, hey, we have this book, and it's this kid who surfs. Would you be interested in actually doing a test drawing for it? And it was a little bit outside of my how I normally work, but I was like, yeah, let's give it a shot. And they mentioned, make sure you make it cute. And I was like, oh, that's I'm sure I can do the hair thing. It's a little bit outside of my normal thing that I do to try and go after that. But it was a neat challenge to be like, okay, can I translate kind of what I've been doing into a children's book and make it appealing to kids in that way? And yeah, and then Jaimal has just been so gracious to kind of invite me into the process and make it more of a partnership and less of a work for hire kind of thing, which I think is really, really neat that he's approached it that way. And definitely gets me more emotionally involved in the whole process, and it's not just a job, it's something I'm more passionate about, and it's been cool to get to know Jaimal throughout the whole process. And yeah, so that's kind of my side of how the relationship developed.
That's so cool. Well, I have to say, I mean, I just can't imagine Mop being any other way. His hair is just incredible, and the waves were so even especially in the first book, there were probably just more waves but I loved the waves. But in the second book, I love these pages with the quadrants. That's a really cool addition in this one.
Yeah, and I should note, like, the kind of the outline of what the illustrations are going to be, often a lot of that is Jaimal getting his ideas down. So he'll send me over like, hey, these are my ideas for how these pages are going to look, and it's really nice to have his vision for them, and then I can just kind of take that vision and interpret it through my lens. Mm-hmm. So he's really a driving force in not just writing it, but also communicating how he sees that the visuals tying into the writing that he's doing.
Mm-hmm. I send him stick figures though. They're pretty basic, but but yeah, it's important for the writing for me to see in my head a picture, because a picture tells 1,000 words, and you'll overwrite if you don't know what you're seeing. So so yeah, that's actually been the reason I think Mop is such a joy to create for me, is that I get to stop writing and draw a little bit. And so yeah, I've been, and then Matt just improves them like tenfold, but and inserts his own vision into it, which is great. Yeah, that's our story.
Amazing. CL, do you want to?
I just wanted to say thank you, and it was really fun to get to just see the combination of inspiration between both Jaimal and Matt, and it's so exciting to kind of see this manifestation of, I don't know, things that Jaimal and I went through as kids, talking about the environment and saving the earth, and empowering little ones. And I just think they're out there caring so much already, and it's yeah. Thank you, Jaimal and Matt, and it was fun to see everybody, family and friends. So Mops unite.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, CL. Yeah. Nice to see you.
Well, like Jaimal mentioned, we will throw this up onto YouTube early next week, and I'll make sure to pass the link on, and we'll post it on our website so you can share it with your friends.
Thanks again, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Here's some moppers right
here. Hi. Oh, cute.
These guys are the true inspiration. If I just cut off some of their curls.
So sweet.
Hi, Anna.
Say hi, guys.
Hi, honey.
Hi. Hello, everybody.
You guys, did you see Matt's cool drawing of Mop? We'll have to do it later. We'll watch the video later. I think they were out playing some basketball.
I love to hear you guys read Mop and sing Mop.
Yeah, they are. Video.
So cute.
People.
That's Matt. That's the Mop artist right there. The guy with the big beard.
I know too. I know too. Hey,
yeah.
Who's that?
That's Naomi. She's the bookstore
owner.
Owner.
Yeah. Hi, Alex and Billy.
Hey guys, sorry I'm driving.
It doesn't work.
This is great. This just turned into a party.
I know.
Yeah.
Family party here. Mop party, mop party, mop party.
Mom party.
Well, again, I really hope we can do one of these in person next time, Naomi. And
Yeah.
next time we're in Napa, I'll swing by with these guys into the shop and get some books.
Yay! Great. We can't wait.
All right, bye everybody.
Okay.
Bye, thank
Bye.
you.
Thank
Love
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.